Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Con kính thưa thầy, kính thưa quý thầy, quý sư cô, đại chúng.
Namo Sakamuni Buddha.
Thì hồi sáng
I, dear Master, dear all monks, all nuns, and the rest of the assembly,
thì cũng trọng tâm là
I listened to an explanation from Master Laikwa, and from your explanation, talking about the practice, the mind of practice. So on the practice, I would like to share, if we can maintain the proper doubt, the right doubt, then we actually so the three sense, the meaning from the Diamond Sutra, not be able to obtain the past, present, or future. Anything from the past, present, and future. Not attached to anything from present, past, and future. But for myself, on my practice, there's so many gaps. I not be able to maintain the practice to not to attach to on anything. But this morning, I give rise to a thought of false thoughts. Even though I don't have any creation, any thought that I want to think about, but it's actually get in. False thoughts is automatically coming in my mind, to my mind. So I have a question. I don't know why. So can you explain this a little bit further so I can understand? When it's automatic, so when our practice come in automatically, that means we believe in our own mind. And if we believe in our own mind, the thoughts of attachment, thoughts of differentiation will not be able to come in. And we'll not be able to, but because we still attach to the self, because we lack of believing in our own mind. That's why all these habits keep coming in. That's why all this keep distracting us from our practice. So that's why good advisors keep reminding us to try to help us, try to tell us, reminding us not to attach on anything, not to have any thought of seeking. So everyone, every practitioner, we all have, we all want to be diligent on the practice. But if we want this, if we have this thought, this is still an attachment. This is still has to do with consciousness. This still has to do with ignorance and self-attachment. If without good no advisor, without the proper Dharma, right Dharma, reminding us, we keep going, we keep staying in the three realms. We stay in the ignorance. We still have all kind of attachment, especially attachment, everything that is real. So any wanting, any seeking, this is all has to do with the habits. We want this or that. All this is false thoughts. This is consciousness. This is false thoughts keep arising. Even though we don't want this, we don't want that. This is still self-attachment. This is still a thought of differentiation. So this is why the good no advisors just say, just let it be, just try to go back to the practice. So even if we have a thought of, oh, just try to be diligent on the practice, or try to maintain the practice, try to do this. So if we force ourselves to do this, that is self-attachment. That's so good advisors stated that if we attach to they try to break our attachment by saying now so just try to go back to the practice by asking the question. If we don't have doubt, we still have to ask the question. So even if people say keep yelling at us or scolding at us, we still. So we still, even though we still practice and we still stay within the wood tail, but without the wood tail, how can we get to the wood head? So all this differentiation, all this attachment, if we maintain the practice, all this will become weaker and weaker. It will. So the more we practice, the more we strengthen our belief in our own mind, and the more we have a clear understanding. So we practice in a way to the point that it will automatically, we will get, the practice will be automatically. So this will be natural. We don't force ourselves. So the Buddha has mentioned about the contemplation prajna. Try to shine through everything, not to use the consciousness to look into things, to shine on things. So a comparison between the sunlight and the flashlight. So any knowing from any knowledge, and if we believe in this knowledge, in this consciousness, this is considered to be sickness. If we believe in our own mind, the phrase "believe in our own mind," if we think that we believe, we understand this, and we think that we believe in this, and we think that we understand enough, or we have a clear understanding. That is attachment. If we believe right, then we practice right. So if we believe in our attachment, and if we believe in our differentiation, then we're more likely to practice wrong. We have to be careful and have a clear understanding on this. If we have practice, we will have experience. If without the practice, we will not be able to see this. For the people who have practice, their mind will be different from the people without the practice. So the people with the mind of practice, they have the mind of forgiveness. They have the mind to be very flexible. The mind without practice, they more likely to stay with the mind of getting mad, getting upset, frustration, angry. This is the attachment. This is self-attachment. So in this area, the explanation, this is just a fake medicine. This is just expedience. This is not the. This is just like a drawing. It's not the real cookie. It's just a picture of the cookie. So the more we practice, the more open mind we're gonna have. We open our heart. We will be more flexible with everyone, and we will have more experience on the practice. Do you understand what I try to say? Yes, I do. Thank you so much. We invite Fabi to speak. Namo Sakamuni Buddha, dear Master, and everyone in the monastery. this morning you have encouraged us. From your encouragement, I look at my practice. I feel I'm very bad. I feel shameful. Like yesterday, in my family, there's a something going on in my family. One of the persons, people said, the dog has cancer. And when I heard this news, I lost my practice and distracting my practice so much. So when I look back, I lost my calmness, and I feel I have maintained the practice. But when this incident happened, I get distracted, and I feel, how come I lose the calmness? But then things keep coming in, and I have a concern about, uh, and I don't know how to master myself, and I don't know how to give any advice to my family members. So in America, when the doctors said or stated that so the doctors has mentioned that if we don't give the shot to him to the dog to go away or to pass away peacefully, then that's bad. But I have heard you mention the living beings should pass away naturally. Should let it be the way it is. So for myself, I think I'll be able to do this. But when I try to give advice, I think it's very hard for me to give advice to other people, especially my family. So, so this is considered to be ego. So everything is just try to maintain the practice. If you try to give advice, try to tell people to do what we want, that's attachment. That's self-attachment. So just let it be. Don't try. Even in our family members, don't try to control. If we try to control family, that's attachment. That's self-attachment. That's consciousness. That's differentiation. Just go back to the practice. It doesn't matter if it's day or night or rain or sunny. Don't try to tell the God to to give us this or that. Why we stay in this attachment? Just let them be. That's their problem. The Buddha cannot even interfere. So anyone who thirsts about the proper Dharma, the right Dharma, then the Buddha will try to explain, try to teach, try to help, try to point out in details so that they can practice, so that they can end but and dead. If they don't need, if we keep doing it, then they're more likely to get mad and we don't let our conscience get involved, don't interfere. So the dog has its own cause and effect. So it has to do with cause and effect, dogs and human. So everything has to do with cause and effect, the relationship. cause and effect. So anything they do, they will try not to control anybody. Just go back to the practice. Don't differentiate. Don't get frustrated on it. Don't get upset on it. Don't. If we do this, we more likely still go after all this attachment and stay with self-attachment. So if we have the right view, we would like to share the right view with everyone, but it has to do with the right time, right people. Just maintain the practice. Don't mind on anything. Do you understand what I try to explain? Yes, I do. Thank you. We would like to invite Anand to speak. Namo Sakamuni Buddha, dear Master, dear everyone. So from Jitam's thought sharing, we're talking about the mind automatically on the practice automatically. I would like to ask, is it our self-nature? It has everything. It has, but we still have the seeking thought on the outside. It's like the self-nature. It has everything. It has knowledge and view. It has even the practice is still sufficient, already sufficient. But we don't. So for us, when we ask the question, give rise to a doubt. This is the practice on the path, so that we can get back to that we know. We get back to the self nature. That the self nature has everything. So when we practice to get to the state of consistency, and when we get to the state of automatically practicing. But if we have a thought of seeking any stage, but because of this seeking thought, we want a stage. We want the state of getting automatic. Then this will give us obstacles. So can you help us, help me on this? This has to do with habits. In another way, we call it habits. Habits of affliction, habits of attachment, habits of self-attachment. This is from beginningless time. These habits, this is very hard to eradicate. So Patriarch Buddha has stated that it's not easy to eradicate all these habits. So if we enlighten, so when we get enlightened, we practice to eradicate all the habits. So Bao Nham is true practice, is to eradicate habits. So on the practice, to eradicate habits. So it's like walking. We on the way to our true home, use experience, just like flying or walking or driving. All this experience, we have we just need to walk. We just to go. We need to. So it's just like when we try to organize or ourselves to clean up and organize. When we have a clear path, let's just walk to get to our true home. If we refuse to go, then if we just stay there. But if we go slow, then more likely eventually we will get home. But this is still on the path. Everything, any matters, on any problem. For our practice, this point, a lot of people confuse and misunderstand. Sometimes they assume that they are walking home, they are on a path home. Talking about the 10 pictures of keeping the ox so that they don't violate the other people's wheat field. So this has to do with eradicate self-attachment or eradicate habits. So any habits that when we get to this state, the habits arising our mind, the more they come, the more they get eradicated. But also, we still on the practice. We're not to the state of enlightenment yet. We're still in a state that we still try to maintain the practice by maintain the doubt. But we are still up and down. Sometimes we are diligent. Sometimes we lazy. Sometimes there are a lot of gaps in between our practice because we don't believe in our own mind 100% yet. Not totally believe in our own mind. If we get to this state, then we will get state of non-retreat. Sometimes some people, they say that they already have this state. They believe in their own mind 100%, but they more likely not practice correctly. They not even get to 50%. So some practitioners, they practice for a long time, even 30 years. But some people, when they just practice for a little while and they sit down and they think that they all that. So when they be able to sit long, and they think they all that. So the true practitioner, they don't go after the appearance or form so that people can praise them. So they have a sincere mind on the practice. The sincere mind of practice is actually they really practice diligently. So it's just like a hungry person. They don't differentiate good or bad food. They differentiate good drink or bad drink. When they're hungry, they just any food they can grab, they just eat. So our practice, if we have a thought of taking but in that seriously, then we will be diligent on the practice, and our practice will get to the final destiny. Now we're still practicing. Now we still try to strengthen our belief in our own mind, and that's why we participate in the Dharma discussion. If we have the right view, then we practice correctly. We will not make any mistakes. If we have the right view, we rely on the light of the triple truths. We rely on the teaching of the patriarchs or the good advisors, so that we can walk on the path correctly. We don't get to the wrong path. So for the right path, we need to we believe in our own mind and give rise to doubt. So there are no thoughts. We should not have any thoughts. We don't assume on anything. We don't have any thought of stealing mind. So if we can maintain the practice, eventually we will get to the state of automatic. So when we hear automatic, and we give rise to the thought of having the automatic practice, then that is seeking. Right now, we still use the consciousness to leave behind the objective. So from the experience, try not to dwell on it, try to attach on it. If we attach on it, that is seeking. This is So anywhere, any circumstance, any state, we're not dwelling on it. So if we let go of any state that we encounter, that is considered to be good state. If we dwell on it, we attach to it, then we fall into the 50 demon scandals, demonic scandals, the state of demons. So even the Buddha has a state. The people who get to the state of arhat, the Buddha has said that is still in the one of the 50 demonic states. It's still so arhat should not be attached to any state. So in the repentance verse, a verse saying that we not have a seeking mind of become human, sound hero, Paisaka, Buddha, Bodhisattva, heavenly being. All this, we should not have a thought of seeking this, all this. We don't have a seeking thought of this, all this, but we go straight, directly to the Buddha vehicle, the Buddhahood state, the supreme, the unsurpassed, the Bodhi mind. If we're not, then we're more likely to stuck with the stay within the 50 demonic states. When we bring forth the Bodhi mind, we bring forth a mind of not seeking, not gaining, and eventually we accomplish the way, the path of enlightenment, the state of enlightenment. You have a clear teaching, explanation. Thank you so much. We invite Kim Ying to speak. Namo Sakamuni Buddha, dear Master, dear all nuns and everyone. I would like to ask you, Master, the Buddha has spoken to Mansuri Bodhisattva. If you maintain the state of serene, this is the shadow of the. It's just a shadow. It's not the real realization. Even the Bodhisattva, when so Master Srila Bodhisattva, when he talked to, he brought up the state to the Buddha. Even though he get to this serene state, so the Buddha told him, even if you eradicate all this, wipe out all this knowledge, view, and if you maintain the serene, the state, this is just this is still a very subtle state of ignorance. This is a very extreme state, extremely subtle ignorance. So, need to wipe out this state as well. So, on the course, even though the self-attachment is already be eradicated, and so the Buddha already mentioned this, reminding the Manjusri Bodhisattva not to dwell on any states. Manjuri's Bodhisattva already realized this, but he just tried to present everyone to ask this question so that the Buddha preach or teach this for everyone in the later generation. So even though if we already not attached to any knowledge and view, we still more likely stay with the some of the states. So even though Manjuri Bodhisattva already leave behind the duality, but there's a very extreme, subtle ignorance. There's a very pure, but the Buddha remind him that's not it. That's, so for the sages, the Buddha just say something and they really have a complete understanding. But for us, it's not easy. We still differentiate when we listen to the spoken language or when we because we still use our consciousness to differentiate. So all this for us to recognize the path that we are walking on. Try not to assume anything because we still in the consciousness differentiate right and wrong, good and bad. We still know that we still have sickness. So we need to stay with inflow and try to have a direction facing the self-nature, not produce any outflow thought. So any state we encounter, just go back to the practice. So if anyone who has a thought of saying, oh, we get to this state, we don't need to ask the question anymore, and that is not it. That is self-attachment. We get to this state, we still need to practice by asking the question, just like before heaven and earth came into existence, what was I? So this is the person considered to be taking the practice seriously. So the practice, who has this mindset, this is very compatible with the patriarch Zen. Do you understand what I try to say? Yes, I do. Thank you. The time is up. Namo Sakamuni Buddha.